Hi there and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Abigail and I make motherhood and lifestyle videos. And if you have been here before, then come on in, join our family, and we're going to have a little chat today about my 6 to 9 month baby essentials. Also, as you can see, it's a lovely sunny day here in Scotland and I didn't have the heart to close all my blinds, so if the lighting's a bit dodgy, sorry about that, but I need the sunshine behind me because it makes me feel so much happier. And yeah, I do not feel so much better when there's just sunshine everywhere, and it just lifts your mood and makes you so much happier, doesn't it? So let's crack on into it. My first favourite is our pushchair. I actually regret not getting this right when he turned 6 months because I think he would have loved it from that age as well, but we just kind of put it off because we couldn't work out which one to buy. So we ended up buying the Silver Cross Avia from Mothercare. I think they'd obviously do it on the Silver Cross website itself as well, but the version that we got is exclusive to Mothercare for whatever reason, and it's the design of it. But essentially the reason that we got it and we loved it so much is because it has a hood that goes all the way down, and we really want that because we're going somewhere warm in the summer and we really want him to have like shade all the way over his pram. And that's the main reason that we actually got that one, because a lot of other prams we couldn't find, like pushchairs, we couldn't find one that had the shade that went all the way down, and that's why we got that one, because it had the best shade. But it's also good for other reasons as well. I'm actually going to film a review on it and put it on this channel, so if you're interested in seeing that, then hit the subscribe button and I'll be posting that in a few weeks. But yes, Samuel absolutely adores this pushchair. I don't know if it's this particular pushchair, I'm sure it's just pushchairs in general, but he's really happy now that he's like sitting up properly, because before he was just sitting like on the pram flat, or he had the car seat which is kind of like angled so you can look up more at the sky, but now he's in the pushchair and he's like straight upright and he loves it so much. He's like so happy to see like the world and see everything around him. So I'd recommend actually getting that sooner. We got it, like I said, just recently, like a few weeks ago, but I'd recommend getting it from 6 months or so because I think he would have like benefited from it then as well. Oh, and I'll just let you know the price as well in case you're interested, and I'll leave a link below. It was £180 on Mothercare with free delivery, and I think that's like a mid-range price. You can get super cheap pushchairs that are like £10–20, and then you can get the upper end of like £10,000. So this is like a super mid-range pushchair. My second essential for 6 months plus is a toothpaste and toothbrush. So this is obviously essential as soon as your baby gets teeth. Obviously every baby's different when they get teeth, but my baby got his first teeth when he was about 6–7 months, so these became essential. These are actually the ones that we got free. So I live in the UK, and on the NHS when you go for your vaccinations you get a free toothpaste and toothbrush. So this is just like a little small child's version toothbrush and little toothpaste. I don't know if this is a particularly good toothpaste, this is just the one that we were given, to put it up the right way. But yes, he really enjoys this actually as like a teething thing. So I kind of struggle to brush his teeth sometimes because he is still quite young, he doesn't understand. But he loves like to hold on to this and like chew on it as well. So I suppose in that sense he's kind of he's brushing his teeth as well while he chews on it. So, and it's recommended as well that you do that. Like you let them teeth on it, because then they get used to the feeling of it in their mouth. My third essential is a baby stair gate, or just a baby gate in general. We have a baby gate and it goes from our living room into the kitchen because that's the most hazardous kind of area, and our living room where he plays is right next to the kitchen. So it's very easy to get into the kitchen, and if you're cooking hot food obviously that's not great. But as well, if you've got stairs in your house, then you maybe want to get a stair gate because this is when they start becoming more mobile. And Samuel has just recently, last couple of nights or so, he's just started crawling. So we're really excited about that, but we did need to we really thought about getting a stair gate, and we're glad we had that in place for when he started crawling. The one we have is a bit more of an expensive one. It's about £40. Again, I'll link it below, and it looks kind of nicer than the normal white ones that you get, so I quite like it because of that. It's like a black and kind of dark brown wood colour, so it's really, I'm just looking here because it's there, but it's really, like, it looks really nice. But the main reason I got that one was because we have an unusually narrow doorway apparently, but it's not so narrow that it qualifies for a narrow one, and it's not so wide that you can have like a normal baby gate, so it's a total pain. But if you've got kind of semi-narrow doorway, then this is a good option and I'd recommend it. Otherwise I would just have got like the standard bestseller on Amazon probably. My next favourite is also a favourite I had in the previous month's videos, but it is the all over bib, and I've just put it in again because this is so essential. We have two of these now, one for staying at the house and one for going out, and they're just amazing. This brand especially, I have now used it for 4 months, and these go in the washing machine all the time and they're spotless. So I really recommend this brand. This is a Bumpkins bib. We had other ones that were cheaper, that were like £2–3. We got them out of Argos, and they're absolutely disgusting. It's because they're like a cotton material, and I wouldn't recommend getting a cotton material because they get disgusting really fast. And even if you put them in the washing machine and you rub it, it's really hard to get it out. So I would just recommend steering clear of the cotton ones and getting these ones. They are more expensive, they're about £10–15 each, which is expensive, but highly worth it because it'll last for a really long time. Now moving on to a couple of his favourite toys. So toys are obviously, I wouldn't say they're maybe an essential, but babies need toys, they need stimulation, and I'm very into the whole idea of open-ended toys. So toys that don't have flashing lights, that are not overly plastic. I'm really into kind of the Montessori kind of ideas of just open-ended toys. But it's very hard to get open-ended toys that are not wooden sometimes, because wooden toys are generally the best for a bit older children or babies. But at the moment Samuel is teething, and I'm sure a lot of babies around this age are teething. So we've got some really good plastic toys that I think are open-ended still, and he really enjoys them, but they're not wooden, so he can teeth on them because they're plastic. So I hope that made sense. But the first toy we have is stacking cups. Now these, I think, are probably one of the best toys you can ever get, because they will last him till he's like 10 or something, because you can play with these doing whatever you want. At the moment he just tends to chew on them, and I stack them up for him because obviously they're stacking cups, you can stack them, and I stack them up and he just squeals with delight when I stack them. He loves it so much. And then as they get older, these ones also have little animals in the bottom. So this is a little elephant, this one's a little giraffe, so you can like learn the animals. Also you can learn the colours because they've got colours. It's just a really great toy. We got this for like £2 second hand. They were actually amazing. I would highly recommend getting yourself a bunch of stacking cups. And then the next toy is one that many people recommend, and I would also recommend because they are proven to be very good, and Samuel loves them as well, and they're again one that's going to last for a long time. And that is these little eggs, these little peekaboo eggs. I'm sure you've heard of them before, but if you've not, come in a little egg carton like this. Samuel loves playing with the box actually itself. And then they each have a little face on it. This one's like a little happy one, and then inside they have a little colour, so you can match the, I've not actually matched them, but you can match the right face colour with the right colour, and then as they get older you can do that, and you can learn the colours that way. And then they also have little shapes in the bottom, so you put the right shape in the right bit, and then you put that on top, and there's just multiple things you can do with these. They also make a little squeaking thing. Samuel mainly just chews on these, but as I say, he'll be using these for years because you can play with them, you can make them like wee people, you can colour match, you can shape match, you can talk about the faces. There's literally endless amounts of things you can do with these little eggs. I think they're an amazing toy, and I would highly recommend them as well. My next recommendation is kind of a food recommendation, and it is these baby wafers. So this is one of his first finger foods because they're just so easy for him to eat. They dissolve in his mouth, they're made of rice. There's literally nothing in them apart from a bit of rice. There's a tiny bit of sugar, which you obviously don't want to have much sugar in baby things, but I'll zoom in on the back. Essentially they're like, there's not much in them that's bad, there's no salt, they're really great. He absolutely adores them. I'll actually open this pack for you and show you what they look like. So this is what they look like. They're just like, they're different flavours. This is like the blueberry flavour, but it's something about the shape of them and like the texture of them that he just loves to hold these. So sometimes he won't take certain finger foods, like if I give him a bit of, like say a little bit of red pepper, he sometimes won't take that, but he will never refuse one of these. He loves them so much. And the main thing that I recommend them for is distraction. So they're not going to fill him up very much because there's like not many calories, and there's 16 calories in 2 wafers, so like there's not much nutrition or anything particularly good about them in that sense, but they're amazing because they distract him. So if he's getting a little bit fussy and you're out somewhere and you need to kind of get somewhere and then feed him or whatever, then these are an amazing thing to use. I also, a cheaper version of these as well, that I use is just rice cakes, like really cheap ones. I bought a pack of 17 rice cakes for 85p in Asda the other day, and they work pretty much the same. He does prefer these a tiny bit because they've got a bit of flavouring in them, but yeah, rice cakes work really well as well. My next essential is a cot. So this is as opposed to a crib. Samuel moved on to his big boy cot in his own room when he was around 7 months, and yeah, he didn't have any issues with it particularly. I wouldn't particularly recommend my cot. We just got one online really cheap. I think we bought for like £10 or something, really ridiculously cheap. Yeah, you need a cot. It's one of those kind of essential things. I think at some point you'll need to move them into a cot when they get too big for their crib. And I would say that if you're worried about it, I found it much easier than I thought I would find it moving him into the cot. I thought I'd be a bit more upset because he's like moving away and he's getting bigger, and I was a little bit, but mainly I was just like happy to regain a bit of my own space for me and my husband, and also he really seemed to enjoy being in a cot, and there's more space for him to move around and to crawl around when he wakes up as well. And the last few things I have to show you is a few books. So the first book is not technically something your baby's going to use, but it is a good recipe book for baby food if you're making your own homemade baby food. This is my favourite. You've probably heard me harp on about it if you've watched any of my other videos, but it's Annabelle Caramel's New Complete Baby and Toddler Meal Planner. This is an amazing book. I'm going to review it properly in a later video as well, so again, subscribe if you want to see that. But I'm not into the toddler section yet. I've not done any of the toddler recipes because my son's only 9 months. But every other section I've used, and I think it's amazing. It's really, really useful. You get an extra insert that gives you, like, what I found really useful about it is like finger food ideas. It's just really great for getting ideas of what to make, and it gets very, very specific. I'll just give you a brief overview. Oh, it looks stunning as well. It gives you, like, in here, it gives you meal planners if you want to follow them. It's just a really, really great book. I would just highly recommend getting yourself a recipe book. If not this, another one. Just get yourself a recipe book. I've relied on this so heavily since I began eating food, especially because it's healthy food. Like, I don't tend to eat that healthy food, but for my baby I want him to eat super healthy food, all green, nutritious stuff, and I'm not very good at making that kind of thing. So if you're the same as me, get yourself a recipe book. They're gold. And then last but not least are baby books in general. I mentioned these last time I made one of these videos as well, because they're just so essential. So some of the favourites that Samuel really, really likes because of the age he is, he really likes these ones. This one's called Peepo Mummy, and it's got like a panda cup, and then it's got, you open this bit and it shows you a panda, and then it gives you something to do, like you wave to the panda in this one. And then this is the kitten, and then you can go meow. He loves that. He loves the turning the flap ideas. Another flap one he likes is Where's Spot. He can't actually turn the flap himself because he's too little, but he really loves seeing the flaps open. This one is, I highly recommend this one. This is one of his favourites, and it'll be good when he's old enough to open the flaps as well. He still also loves the ones that we got free from the NHS, just the black and white baby ones. So there's one about faces, one about babies. He just loves high contrast books. Still, since he was newborn, he loved them, and he loves them still. And I think partly he loves them because he got them when he was really wee, so they're quite familiar to him as well. The last book we have is, I think I mentioned this one last month. He still loves the baby animal noises. It's this little puppy one. Yeah, highly recommend to get them a bunch of books. But these are the ones I specifically recommend because these are the ones that Samuel specifically enjoys. So that's all my 6 to 9 month essentials for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below if you did enjoy it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.